We've got that mommy magic, the Mother Show on Magic 89.9.
So we had Risa. Now we have a second guest. She. This is funny because her name is not on Instagram. Like, it's not out there, right? You'd have to dig and you'd have to follow and get to know her well. But her name is Trina Tanlapco. She goes by DIY Corporate Mom on Instagram, and she's with us today. Hi, Trina.
Hi.
There.
Thank you for having me.
Trina, I just want to thank you for being on the show, because I reached out to you. You have no idea. You don't know me. I was just like, "Hi, Trina. I have the show. Can you guess?
Please guess.
I want to ask you some questions." And when I posted that we were having you, so many people messaged me, and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm fangirling right now. I'm so excited for this." And I'm like, "You guys know her too?"
We're silent followers.
Yeah,
yeah.
silent followers. So her name is Trina. So we're gonna call you Trina today. Trina, tell us what you're about. What do you do?
I'm probably the most ordinary guest you will have on the Mother Show.
We love that. We love that.
Ordinary,
We love
yes,
that.
we
Yeah,
love
go
it.
ahead.
So I have a corporate career, and I'm also a mom, and I'm also a wife. So
Yeah.
my career is about marketing.
Okay.
So I've been working for like 18 years now in the marketing business. So I started in Unilever marketing for 7 years, and then J&J, Johnson &
7
Johnson marketing
years.
for another 10.
10?
Yeah. So my career is so linear. I mean, in the corporate world, it's like linear progression, linear moving up the ladder,
Yeah.
and all that. And then how I started DIY Corporate Mom is because I became a mom.
Yes.
The moment I became a people leader as well. So that was like the push and pull of, do I really want it? Because then I'm going to have to commit to corporate.
Yeah.
I have to commit to being a good people leader. Or, this whole mom part is so new to me that I wanted to learn also. So I think that's when I started writing about it. So at first, uso pa yung blogs, right? So I started to blog about discovering ways to be hands-on. And in fact, my name, I don't even say my name, you're right.
It's not there.
It's hard to find online.
I had to look for it. Diba?
That's why when Ricky goes like, "Hey, Trina's gonna be in the show," I'm like, "Trina?
Who's Trina?
Who's Trina?"
Wait, so Ricky, how did you find out about her name? If it's not there,
Ay, nako.
how did you get it?
I was so honest. I was like, I had to go look at every single post and look at the comments if anybody mentioned your name, or if you have a friend that follows you who called you by your name. And I was like, is your name really Trina? Can I call you Trina? Because I'm not sure.
Trina, I have to warn you about Ricky. She's a stalker.
Silent follower and stalker.
No, I will find your name if I need to.
But that's what made me say yes, actually, Ricky, knowing that you're a fellow working mom. You are also experiencing the same things that I am feeling. So I felt like, okay, it's not going to be about me in that sense. I don't like talking about myself. That's why my name is not my name. But just sharing about how you discover balancing things.
Yeah.
I guess that's how it happened.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. And then Montessori happened. I think the rise of the interest in Montessori has been so fast. And that's what I share about. So I think that's how people got to know me a little bit more.
That's right. So Delamar, we've had guests on the show, and we talk about Montessori a lot.
All the time.
How different it is,
right.
and how natural and how raw it is. And so she posts about all of these great insights. And that's what I love about it. It's very mindful. Picking off from like where Risa left off kanina, diba? It's all very mindful. But she works in the corporate world. And that's why when we came up with this episode, a lot of people didn't know that was possible, to be a hands-on mom and still, as your profile says, climb the corporate ladder. Is it hard?
How do you do it?
Go ahead, Delamar.
That was my first question, because a lot of people, how can you be hands-on and hold down a job?
Yeah.
What is your definition of that?
Oh, these are such big questions. But I think it's because there's this stereotype that being a super mom means you do it all. And I guess, if it boils down to it, that's the big secret. You don't do it all, and you choose what to do that makes the most meaning.
I love that.
And
Write that down. I'm gonna put it in my quotes in my phone, but I remember.
right?
Yeah.
Because part of that is you've developed yourself, and whether you're in a leadership position or not, those are talents that you already have. That it's impossible that you just let that go after you become a mother. It has to progress somewhere.
This is important to you.
It is. So in fact, I don't know, Ricky, if you remember when you were chatting, I said, is it okay if I talk about a parable that means so much to me?
Yeah.
Because it's really the start of how
Yeah.
do you do it?
Yeah.
It's the start of how do you do it? It's the answer. So, you know, all of these memes that float around, especially on Instagram,
love those memes.
right? I love it. We like consume it, but there are some memes that I just can't respond to. Memes like, if you wake up in the morning, do something you won't regret.
Okay.
So that's like, okay, if I'm trying to find my way to balance having a career and being a hands-on mom, then I'm just gonna forget my career.
Okay.
If I follow that meme, because being a mom is more important to me. It's like a meme for forced choice.
Okay.
Rather than a meme that helps me figure out how to balance both. So I don't respond to that. Or even memes like, when you wake up in the morning, you chase your dreams.
Yeah.
What if you're still making your way into your career and you don't really know what that looks like? Because you could do this, you could do that.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I had it easy because I'm in corporate, so it's kind of, there's a path.
There is a path.
You knew
can
where you
follow,
were going.
There's
right?
a system, there are rules in play. You don't have to think about.
Right.
Yeah.
But you do have to play.
Yeah.
But imagine beyond that, and that's why I get why so many moms are confused, because there's so many more much more choices today on what you can do. So getting up and chase your dreams. What if you don't know your dream?
Yeah.
But,
What are you gonna?
But that's why I respond to the parable of the talents.
Okay,
which
go
is
ahead.
what I shared with you, which is about God giving 3 different servants different talents. And talent was literally gold coins,
Yeah.
right, in the story.
Yeah.
But it was the 2 other servants invested their talents
Yeah.
and multiplied it, and their master, God, was happy. But the 3rd servant did not, because he felt that the master would be
He
selfish.
buried it, right?
He buried it.
He buried
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
he buried it. Because that's what he thought he was supposed to do. And in the end, he was the one who was
Was it punished?
yeah, in a way. So
Yeah.
the master was upset with
Yeah.
him. So that made me realize, and you know who gave me that parable? It was my boss. In corporate. Yeah. I attended a retreat and he said, read this. This is my message to you. So I was so lucky to have that basis, because after that, it just becomes, you just follow your talents, and it's not about a dream. It's not about this vague dream that you're supposed to go after, and therefore you kind of weigh between family or career. I hate that, by the way, family or career, because there's so many choices in between. But if you follow your talents, then it leads to some place where you feel fulfilled as yourself.
Yeah.
And then finding your place as a mother as well. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
It makes a lot of sense. It's like me time, but with your talents.
That's right.
Yeah,
Discovering it, right?
Yeah.
actually like the easiest way to say it. No, like
Yeah. That's how I think it is. Because me time is you just like refilling, right? You're you're resting and you're refilling, but you're also sort of you're watering your own soil. Go ahead, Del. You probably could.
I love that, when we talk about self-care, about moms and pursuing what you love and me time, it doesn't always have to be a massage or, spa date or whatever. Sometimes it can be about exactly what Trina has done, which is, what you've done is to express yourself through motherhood. So your talent in what you brought to work is also what you're bringing to your brand of motherhood.
yeah.
And I'm looking at your page right now. How is your house like this?
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say? Your house.
Iba.
Parang I just want to send my kid there.
Parang
Hatid
school
ko na
din
lang
siya,
ha.
no?
Hatid ko na lang.
Yeah. So Andy's here. Trina brought her 10-year-old daughter here. And Andy, I'm looking at her in awe because she has purple hair.
Right.
Teaching her all the buttons and she's just talking. But she grew up in that house. Trina, right? She grew up in that house while you were doing corporate. It's such a nice house, isn't it, Andy? You like your house? It's a pretty cool house. You should read it at DIY Corporate Mom. By the way, really quickly, Bianca Gonzalez Intal is listening. And she goes,
hi, Bianca.
totally agree with Trina. Drop the ball. We cannot do everything talaga. So important to bring out that moms can't humanly possibly do it all, and social media has created crazy expectations.
Yes.
Remember, Del, when we had Maricel Laxa on the line and she was like, you gotta delegate. I don't have energy to bathe the kids at night, but I will do everything else. But just delegating is a huge task already.
That's
Yeah.
So a good example
Definitely.
is that house, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So people see it on Instagram and people might think it's what you do on top of everything, but it's actually not. The secret is I made my house so that I can leave it and go to work. So that's when I say one balances the other. It's not even balancing. One enables the other.
Okay.
So, and it's not about a pretty house. I think if you read more about what I share about, it's a house that my kids can thrive in. So that even if I'm not there physically, if you follow Montessori in a parenting style, you know that you're leaving them with no guilt.
Yeah.
With confidence that they can learn on their own, they can thrive on their own until I get home.
So, can you fix my house?
Like a service. So, can you fix my house? I would like to service this.
So I can always leave my kids.
No, but this is a Montessori thing, though, right?
Yeah,
to leave things where, and I haven't really studied it, extensively.
Isn't it about parang kumbaga teaching the child how to do the normal everyday things
Yes.
on their scale, on their level, so that they can actually do it, right?
That's right.
And I'm looking at your page and that's what it is. I just want to know, what is it you do for a living?
Okay.
I mean, yes, you're in marketing, but I can see that you're so organized because this life that you have, balancing motherhood and your corporate job, cannot happen without reorganizing, diba?
Again, Del, sorry. That last part.
Yeah, parang I don't know that she can do both, like how she mothers and how she takes on her corporate job without massive organization skills.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh God. I am the most unorganized person.
Really?
Seriously, if you look at my bag, it's just a mess. My husband, okay, the trick is it looks that way because of course you'll only post what you're proud of and what you're good at, right? It's Instagram after all. You need the eye candy. And hopefully that convinces people to look into the Montessori parenting deeper. But no, I'm not organized. If you talk to my teams before, they know me as going to the office with my zipper down the back. My cardigan is on backwards. My boss has commented about my hair.
Okay.
Imagine your boss commenting about your hair. It must have been that bad.
Okay.
So I'm very disorganized. I always forget things and lose things. So it's really just
laughing in the back.
She knows me. She knows me well. So what
Pero
is it?
feeling ko kasi parang, sorry Trina to interrupt, pero feeling ko parang like your level, your definition of organization, parang something's gotta give, right? If you're doing two jobs.
That's right.
Some aspects of your life will not be organized, but one thing better
Del, you sound like a mouse.
You sound like a chipmunk.
I sound like a chipmunk?
Del.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I still sound like a chipmunk?
No. No more. Sige, go. Slow.
Okay. So, what kind of help do you have? What kind of support? Because I imagine you don't leave your child alone in the house.
That's true. That's a good question.
Yes, absolutely. So it's about focus and Maricel Laxa was right. Delegating. So you delegate so you can focus on what's meaningful to you. So I've already chosen what's meaningful to me when I followed the whole career decision and Montessori. So I have to multiply myself to make it work. And things, okay, I have a red list and a green list. And I realized this as I was going through learning about what I like to do or sticking it out in corporate.
Okay.
So I started to make a red list and a green list. The green list is things I like to do, things that I groove with.
Okay.
Red is not. And it goes as and this is a strengths finder.
Yeah. Like a strengths finder. Okay.
It's strengths finder, right? So it's merging corporate and personal life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I delegate the red list because I know the red list. And I think that's the problem if you just dive into motherhood and you feel like you have to do everything because that's the images that you see. And that's the definition of a good mom, a hands-on mom. So in fact, my handle DIY corporate mom was like a joke because I'm not DIY. So it was like a challenge when my husband told me when I was pregnant, it's okay. Your Andy is going to be dikit sa yaya. It's normal. So he was actually supporting me, but in my head I was like, no way, I don't want that.
He told you that?
Yeah, in a way, he was trying to support me. And
but
say,
that's
it's
like-
fine,
that's
you can
kind
do
of like
it.
a-
It's like a backhand.
I
Isn't that
know.
something?
No, actually, he said it in a way to make me feel less pressured. And that, to him, as a good husband, it's fine. You don't have to be the super mom who's
But I
at
guess to
home.
us, like when you're expecting, parang you just want to do it all.
Exactly. You see how we reacted, all of us.
Yes.
It was like, what did he just say? Bad mom alert. Bad mom alert.
Why is that? Why did we all react that way? That's fine. That's fine in this Philippine setting where it's
Yeah.
normal to have help. Why are we reacting that way?
I guess there's some... What? Del,
Del?
let's say something.
Oh, sorry, which one? The dikit sa yaya?
Yeah.
Well, hasn't there been a shift in the version of motherhood in the past 15 years? Because, let's take a survey. Like Ricky, Andy, Trina, and me. We all have yayas. Did we all grow up with yayas?
Yes.
Diba? And medyo a lot of what we did was with the yayas.
Yes.
But nowadays, the version of a good mom, as presented on TV, on social media, is that you have to be the one. The yaya is there to just parang to be your girl Friday.
Yeah.
And so anyway, back to your list. So you have a green list, which is the ones that you will do, but and the red list is the things that you will delegate.
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's right. So that
who do
gave
you-
me... Go ahead.
Who do you delegate to?
Okay, so then I have Yaya. I have my husband. So I was talking about green and red because on my red list is grocery. I hate going to the grocery.
That's so funny. I've never met anybody who hated going to the grocery.
I hate
Go
it.
ahead.
So if you do your green and red list, you'll see patterns. You'll
Okay.
see what's the pattern that makes me green and what's the pattern that makes me red. The pattern that I saw in red is repetitive tasks that have no sense of creativity or newness or something that I can strategize,
yes.
because I'm in marketing and
Yeah.
I guess that's where I groove. So the red is grocery, budgeting, but those are core
Yeah.
activities in running a home.
household.
Household,
yeah.
Right. So I don't do it, Del. My husband does it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Groceries.
Husband does it. He loves to do it.
Budgeting, yeah.
So he'll do it. He's
Interesting.
better at me than budgeting. So
Okay.
he'll do it. And then Yaya also. I don't expect a lot from the Yaya because, it's unreasonable. That's why Montessori is about fix your home. You don't have to train your Yaya in the Montessori way 100% actually. If your home is the one that's training your child, it's also training your Yaya.
I like that. Next thing you know, in 6 months, our house will look like yours.
Call me. Call
Saying
me.
na everything. Are you gonna give Olivia that knife?
Which one?
Okay, if you watch.
Is it like the wooden knife where you learn how to cut? It's like a real knife.
This is a bladed knife.
Oh, it's okay.
This is
She
a
has
bladed
cut-
knife.
Yeah.
Galing! No, but I was watching I was watching. And the name of your youngest daughter is?
Rosie.
Rosie. See, I don't know the name, but I know her by face. See, that's why
Now
it's
we
so
know
nice to meet
Andy.
you, Andy.
Yeah.
So Rosie she's 4?
She's 3 and a half, almost 3.5.
This 3-year-old girl is cutting apples into wedges on her tiny cutting board with her tiny knife. Wala lang. The story ends
Why
there.
not?
Absorb it.
Yeah.
Grabe.
Yeah.
I've never.
I'm so baffled
Unassisted.
no, I think that's great because I see a lot of kids here in the U.S. They do a lot of things that we would never think we should allow kids to do in the Philippines. It's insane.
Yes.
And look, there are many Americans. They're not like dying.
Yeah,
So they can manage. Kids can manage, right? And sorry, Trina, because you are a different kind of mother. I don't think I've ever met any mom like you. So pardon me if I'm asking these very weird questions. I hope you don't mind. I want to know what kind of mother you had, because there's a saying that goes, we mother the way we were mothered, except of course the ones who have horrible mothers, no? Pero mostly, we tend to mother the way we were mothered with some changes kasi syempre different generation. I wonder if your mom was also the same. What was she like? How did she raise you?
I think you're absolutely right. My mother was a working mom. So when I became a mom, it never even occurred to me to have the choice to stop. Because we're 5 daughters. She had 5 daughters also. And she did it while working. And my father died early. My father died when I was 18. My youngest was 11. And she just became the father, you know. From utang to utang, she kind of put us all through college. So I guess, Del, you're absolutely right. In a way, it's really the influence of strong women that I had since my mom. My titas also have their own businesses. And then if you work in a multinational, you're exposed to women bosses.
Yeah.
So in a way, it becomes normal. It doesn't even become a choice. It becomes, that's the path.
Yeah.
That's the path you're going.
Yeah, parang monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. And they can do it.
Are you aware of this? There was an article that was posted, a couple of years ago, and it talks about, I think it was the Atlantic that published it, that women who worked and raised kids had daughters who would be achievers as well, and they supposedly actually become achievers in the outside world. So it does send a very powerful message like you. If your titas were the same, your mom is the same, of course you're going to think your version of what a woman can be is exactly that.
That's true. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, it isn't even about working mom equals working mom. It's about, because you see women being more empowered to make choices. And the choices they're not default choices anymore. Like, default is to leave your career and go
either or, right?
Either or. Those are already choices. And that's amazing. I think that's an amazing track now that I'm seeing. But I think the fact that you see examples around you of women making those choices without, I'm sure there's guilt behind it, right? But making those choices with purpose.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing that saying yes to something, you're saying no to something. I think those examples are important because now, actually, in my world, I see a lot more women leaving corporate to stay home. But it's a choice. Do you know what I mean? And for me, the women before, to Del's point, the women before actually enabled those choices because honestly, they probably played the game. They had to be more male than we're allowed to be today. Right now, we're allowed to take 90-day maternity leaves, right? We're empowered to do that. We're allowed to say, motherhood is the most important job. I'm going to quit career so that I can do this most important job.
And it came with this really nice complementary shift as well that the men, the fathers, are also getting parang opposite. They're the career driven ones before, but now you see them demanding for changing tables in men's bathrooms. You see all these dads trying to get more involved in family. So it's like a nice shift to meet in the middle, isn't it? What a time to be alive.
In the feminist movement, they were saying that for every woman who is allowed to be, I forget the actual quote, my words are failing me, pero parang the more we empower women, we also empower men to love home life.
Yeah.
Because in a world like the one we're living in, where men and women are equal, quote unquote equal, syempre, hindi na yung lalaki lang ang nagli-lead eh.
Yeah.
That's the challenge of our times, that if we are going to have equal marriages where the man and the women are equal, we have to forge this new setup where the man has to take some of the domestic chores, like for your husband, Trina, the grocery.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and for every move that we make for women, we also, there's an impact on men, and they are now allowed to have. Hindi, kasi before parang hindi eh. Parang society looks down on men who change diapers.
Yeah.
Ba? Pero ngayon parang, okay, they can have their own version of being involved.
Okay pala home life. Yeah.
Oo. Diba?
Yeah, I love
What
it.
does your husband do, Trina, if you don't mind?
So my husband is a finance director in one of the top 1,000 companies. Yeah. So he's also in corporate, another corporate citizen like me.
Right.
Yeah.
Corporate also. How interesting, no?
Oh,
Very
no,
interesting.
Not your world.
I wonder your children. I would like to meet your children to see them in their own habitat. Because it's amazing what you show. I mean, of course, and also the choices that you've made and how you've made them. I just want to say, you're so mindful.
Yeah.
If you're going to have this kind of life, no?
That's it, right?
Mindful.
Mindful.
Yes. It's deliberate to be mindful, yes. Because otherwise you'll go crazy.
From the start, were you always very mindful from the start? Or after you became a mom?
It's a good question. No, of course you'll get lost. You'll really get lost. You have to.
All these crossroads, right?
Yeah.
Especially after having kids.
Right.
It's 11:46. If you're just listening, we have the DIY corporate mom with us. Her name is Trina. I was on the way here. Somebody who follows you as well messaged me, and she said, "What I like about Trina is that she focuses. She'll tell you to focus on yourself as a person, and how you can be the best parent by doing that." So you don't necessarily have to let go, and we've been stressing this since you got on the mic. You don't have to let go. It's not a choice, right? It's just a matter of doing what you like to the best of your ability.
Right. Your green list.
Yeah, your green list.
Your green list will tell you what kind of parent you'll be good at. So it's not following this intensive mothering standard.
There's no mothering standard. There's no manual. We say it all the time on the show.
Yeah. So you advise that people have a green list and a red list.
It'll help. Like, I did that for a year.
Okay.
At that time where, it was the worst. Like, my theme for that year was resurrect. The theme for myself. So it was that bad.
Okay.
That my theme was resurrect.
Okay.
So for a whole year, I kept green and red.
What
and
kind
then
of crossroads was this in your life?
That was when I had just had Andy.
Okay.
She was an infant, but then I had just gotten promoted to lead.
So
First time to lead a team.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, first time to lead a team. It was the biggest brand of the company. So it was like, if you've been in marketing all your life, you know the
This
brands
was
you
it.
are.
Yeah.
You're drooling to work with.
yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those assignments. So that was like.
So what happened?
So I got lost. No, really. So back to,
Yeah.
did I always know? No, that was me going to work with my hair in a mess. Yun yan. That was the
Pinarable
same.
ka ng boss mo. Yun yun. Wow.
That was me. And I guess you'll get that clarity because you know that you just can't do it all. But you have to focus. You have to focus on a talent that you have, on what you're good at. Because otherwise, if you, again, strengths finder, right? If you keep doing something that you're not good at, you're never going to get anywhere. So it was discovering that I was actually, well, that's when Montessori came into my life as well. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna talk more about this Montessori and how you're tackling it and how you're sharing it as well with all of these followers, because how you probably get this a lot, random messages. Hi, I just followed you. Do you get that?
Yeah.
How does
How
it
do you
feel?
do the Montessori?
Yeah,
How do you start? Where do you get the
start?
items?
Such a fan
right?
of your work. Mga ganon, diba?
Yeah.
And you're not even putting yourself out there for them to do that.
And
so
I feel
they
like
find
it's
you
also
organically.
so effortless for her.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that Montessori, how it's changing lives. Delamar's still in Utah in a cabinet. Don't worry, Del. We have 11 more minutes, and then you can come out of there. So we were talking about when she took a break from corporate.
Yeah. Because I was asking her, like, when did she decide to take a break, or if she went back to work. So apparently with her first child, she went back to work right away, right? And then when she had her second child, which was a surprise, that's when she took the 10-month leave. Right, Trina?
Yes, that's right.
Break from 10 months. At some point, she didn't want to go back to corporate. Right?
That's right.
She did not want to go back to corporate, but
well, my second child started to go to school, so it became a financial need to go back. Yeah. And then I knew it would happen anyway. So it was going into my 10-month sabbatical, knowing that I would go back, makes such a difference. It's like you're psyching yourself, you're preparing your household for the time you go back to work. So I was looking at the systems, the laundry system, the cleaning system, right? Just in prep. And you're nodding because I'm sure you did that too.
Yeah. All systems, and you have to check everything before you delegate it, right? Because that's how you
can leave. That's how you can leave. So I knew that was coming. I also had a passion project on the sideline, which I wanted to focus on and see if that could be my quote-unquote job.
Tell us about this passion project.
The passion project, it's called A Little Montessori. So it was providing parents in the Philippines Montessori materials, which were so hard to find when I had my child. And we have a lot of woodworkers, excellent woodworkers. Yeah. I had my handyman with me. So it was, in a way, it was perfect. So it started there. It was so organic. I never made ads for anything. It was really just me talking about how it became a solution for me. And then now we're at 10,000 followers just as a private account. It's just amazing. But working on that, it fulfilled me, but it made me feel pressure. The pressure to earn from it made me not enjoy it.
Yes.
I mean, my entrepreneur friends think I'm crazy. They think, are you kidding? You're supposed to, that's the gold mine. That's when you need to, everybody's looking to earn from what they love. And then I tried it. I really tried to do it. But there's something about, maybe it's because I'm so passionate about Montessori in the first place that I don't want to capitalize on turning it into a money-making thing when it's this beautiful philosophy in the first place. Yeah. So even right now, there's always that push and pull with me.
Yeah.
So I realized I'd rather just have a job that I'm good at anyway, a job that makes me fulfilled, and then do this on the side, and it's fine.
So remember Risa kanina, we were asking her about hobbies.
Yeah.
Is it like, can you turn your hobby into a living, right? And she was like, not all hobbies are made for that. If you want to have both, which you should have both, get you a job
that you love so you could do your hobbies.
Yeah, on the side.
Well, she said it better.
It'll give you time to do your hobbies on the side. But yeah, right? So not all hobbies are jobs. You just have to find that balance where you use your skills, but at the same time still do what you love.
Well said.
Goodness gracious. It's 11:58.
I guess we have to do our green and red list first.
So again, any questions that you might have for Trina, I'm going to ask Gino if I can extend like a couple more minutes. But if you have any questions before we let Trina go, it's 631-0899. Saying hi to this Filipina mom over Twitter who says, I totally get Trina. I'm in corporate wishing to transition to home-based, and recently went back to blogging because I love to write. That is my me time now, to blog, and it's writing about being a mom. So it's very nice to hear you as well, Del, all the way from a closet in Utah. She said.
I never thought that I would actually be on the radio like this.
Hey, but at least you're here, Del. That's what matters.
And there's a first for everything.
There is a first for everything.
At least you can tell your kids, you know what? When we moved to Utah, the first time I was on radio was in the cabinet.
I was passionate about my work, and so I made it work. I went inside the closet with some red wine.
Sorry, I as Trina is talking, there's a lot of things that you can tell I'm so quiet because I'm really listening to her and getting this sense of what kind of mother she is. I love, by the way, the choice of guests today. They are not your run-of-the-mill garden variety mothers. These are different types of mothers. When she said something about you need to be a little lost, you have to embrace that, because I think when Trina was telling her story, it was in that being lost period that she actually found the system that works for her. Is that correct? Is that safe to say?
You said it with great words, better than I could. Yes. You have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be lost to know what makes you tick, what makes you found in a way, right?
And your priorities.
What makes your red list and what makes your green list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
parang nandun yata ako, Trina.
Mag-list ka na dyan, Del.
Yung the topsy-turvy life that I have right now, the house is a mess. I don't know what to do. You're right. It comes to the point where you go, something's got to give, but I need to know which are the most important ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm going to do. And the rest, I'm going to train people to do that for me or somebody else.
Yeah.
Because the stretch is always uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everybody. And just saying yes to being a workforce mom, you're already saying that, okay, I'm going to stretch myself. But you're right, it's in that stretch where I felt, first, I didn't want to go back to work anymore because I didn't want to stretch. They came to a point where this is so nice.
Okay na. Okay na to.
It's so comfortable.
I don't want to move.
Really? Back to corporate culture? Back to that. But so my new mantra now is to embrace the stretch. Because it's when you want more, magically, you will find that. You will find that, I can make time for this and that. And this and that. May time pala. May way pala. Maybe not may time pala.
May way pala.
May way pala. So embrace the stretch.
Embrace the stretch. Is that going to be the advice for all of the moms out there who are confused?
Yes.
Embrace the stretch.
Embrace the stretch.
It's 12:01 on the clock. Again, 6310899, just in case you have anything. We're reminding you, by the way, that the full episode of this full episode will be up on YouTube. It's also streaming live now on Facebook, so you can go back to it whenever you want. Somebody was calling us kanina, sayang.
I know.
6310899.
There's so many people that are sending, actually
messages.
people saying that a lot of people quit the corporate job and then they're trying to follow the Montessori way that Trina or at DIY Corporate Mom is doing it.
Galing, no?
Yeah.
So again, it's a little Montessori. Is this still active?
Yes.
This little on the side.
Yeah, on the side.
Very nice. So you guys can follow her. It's at DIY Corporate Mom. Her name is Trina. Ayan, mag-message na. They know na your name.
Hi,
Trina! Advice, please. It's 12:02. You also hold seminars, Trina, yes?
Well,
right?
I started saying yes this year at the Parenting Emporium. I'm sure everybody knows them.
Nice!
Yeah, so for Maricel has been she gave me my pump when I'm with Andy when she was a little baby.
Talaga?
So we go way back. So
Medela moms pa sila nun.
Exactly.
Medela moms.
Exactly.
Oh,
so I started saying yes to them. So I've held 2 this year. The next ones will be next year na though.
Oh, nice. Well, you just have to follow her then.
Yeah,
for
but
more
my
updates.
question is, like, if you want to have that kind of environment in your home, like the Montessori way, how do you start?
Best tip. Oh, yes.
my house is a mess, and I mean, especially like the play area for the kids. Sometimes it's just in boxes, right, in their storage area. But how do you start the Montessori way for them?
How hard? Okay, all right. Quickest tip is access. Number 1 is access. So I think the easiest way to work with is you see that in their play area, how their play area can enable better access to things you wouldn't normally think about, but they actually want to do. Like
that also requires a lot of You really have to know your children. You can't just diba? You have to know what they like, and you have to know what they'll be busy with most of the time.
Start with self-care.
Okay.
So the things that normally, like with my first child, Andy, I would do everything for her. I would give her a bath, etc., right? But with my second child, I just fix the environment so that she can brush her own teeth because there's a mirror in the shower area at her level. Our shower head is not up where we would normally have it.
Okay.
There's a what do you call that? The hook is at her level also.
Oh, how nice.
So think about self-care, because that's the easiest way to start now that I think about it. And how you can enable them to be independent in self-care. That's already big for them. They already feel like, I have a chair where I can sit down and put on my underwear. That's like stars in their eyes when they actually get to do it.
Yeah.
And it will hook you. Really, it's so addicting when you see how little changes can make a big difference.
You guys have to follow Trina at DIY Corporate Mom.
Hey, that's quotable quotes again.
Ang dami nga. Sobrang dami. Ang dami talaga, Del.
Right.
But yeah, thank you so much, Trina, for being here. Del, do you have any more questions that you might want to ask?
No, I think it's time for me to just be quiet and absorb everything that Trina and Lisa both.
Okay. It's that time.
What?
Yeah, ganun tayo, diba? Whenever we have a great episode, we have this moment where we look stunned. And it's like your brain is like a computer, defragging. Parang I need to absorb.
Yes.
That's
what has been happening in our brains.
It's gonna happen. This is only episode 1, guys. Again, Trina, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
At DIY Corporate Mom on Instagram. Andy, thank you as well.
Thanks, Andy.
For dropping by the station.
The show for moms by moms. The Mother Show on Magic 89.9.